Okay, everybody, today we're going to be looking at a Harley Sportster on a wrecked insurance auction lot. It has a salvage title. I have an active bid on this motorcycle. We're going to look at the damage. We're also going to look at the live auction to see if I bring this thing home. We're on my broker, Auto Bidmaster. This is for Copart, and we're looking at a 2020 Harley Davidson XL 1200 or a Sportster 1200. We can see that the estimated repair costs are $8,500. Estimated retail value $11,000. The seller is State Farm. My maximum bid right now is $4,250. Hopefully that holds. And right now my current bid is $3,700, but I'm trying my best not to go over $5,500 for this bike. But if you look at the final fee estimator at $3,700, assuming this bid holds, I'm hoping that it does, but I got a feeling it will not. It will be $4,957 to bring this bike home. But I originally bid at $300 on this bike, and my original goal was to get it for $2,000, but that's just not going to hold. So let's look at the photos for this thing. Again, Sportster. Sportsters are pretty much been the same every single year for the most part. So a lot of these parts are interchangeable. And the reason I wanted this thing is because I knew that I could buy a lot of different quality used parts to fix this thing. But you can look at it from this side. It looks pretty good. We got some damage down here on the foot control. We have a lot of front end damage as far as the handlebars down to the headlight. The front wheel looks okay. On this side, it gets a little bit more weird. We got headlight damage, hand control damage. I can see a dent on the tank. The foot pegs looks a little scuffed up. I can see a little bit of damage on the fork right here. Then we come to the back. Looks like we got a side panel missing here with some cables flopping down, and we also have some damage to this left suspension strut. And coming on this side, we got some damage on the signal light. Got some damage on the sissy bar. Seems like we got a little bit of road rash on the exhaust as well. Then going down the seat. The seat actually doesn't look too bad. The seat actually looks perfect. Scrolling down, we get a little bit more view on that sissy bar. I don't know what this is in the background, but clearly it did not make it without getting some fire damage. Scrolling down, let's see what else. This is the air filter. Air filter looks good. This is an Evo motor or engine. It's 1200. And okay, this is a good view of the speedometer. It is damaged clearly. Okay, now we get some more view of the front. We have the speedometer mounts broken. We have some road rash on the left part of the upper triple tree. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be too bad. You probably can powder coat that, or maybe even just get it swapped out. Got a little bit of paint chipping on the handlebars. The handlebars actually look okay though. Hopefully those come out not bent, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are. Headlight, bucket, and we got the frame. That's actually not too bad, right? So the cool part about this bike is when I was out there looking at the Lowrider ST recently with the bent frame, I got a chance to view this bike while I was out there. So let's go ahead and look at some of the live video that I got of this motorcycle. Looking at this gas tank, it's got a dent right there as well. Probably just need to end up changing out the whole peanut gas tank. They're not that expensive. The gap here looks good. Doesn't seem like it has any frame damage, mostly just cosmetic. There's no stress marks on the frame. The steering stop looks okay. Looks like it's a little chipped, but nothing crazy. The forks actually look good. Front fender, side panel, rear fender, all that looks good. Air filter looks good. That's bent. You want to do one of those? That's loose and rusted out. Need some controls. Pretty much all the top control pieces need to be changed out. I thought on the picture that this maybe could just use some powder coat. You probably just end up changing that entire thing out. That looks pretty bad. But this bike, man, this looks really good. I'm actually considering this thing. The forks, even on both sides, there's a little scuff there. You might be able to buff some of that out, but these bikes are pretty cheap to rebuild. Coming down to the engine, primary, I don't see anything leaking unless it had already leaked out, right? But no, this looks pretty good. You can see compared to the Lowrider ST, I know this isn't the same engine, but the amount of gap between the oil filter and the frame, in this case the Lowrider S this is the oil filter, and like right here was the oil cooler. It was like no space. And also this bolt was pretty much wedged into the frame. There's There's like a lot of gap in there. I'm considering this because one is cheaper to rebuild, and it doesn't look too bad. The peanut gas tank and like the shock and a few other things are not as bad to rebuild versus a frame like on the ST, or rather not rebuild, but repair. So yeah, I'm glad I came out here to see this thing, and it doesn't look that bad. Now that we've seen this in person, we got a chance to put our hands on it. The only reason I didn't actually turn the bike on was because the battery was dead, but I was able to actually, you know, turn the key on and hear some of the electrical components kind of firing up. So that is good news. I do believe if we get this motorcycle in, it will fire up if we get the battery situated. So we're gonna jump over here, and again, I have $3,700 in on this motorcycle. Hopefully it holds, but if it does get up to a little bit more, I don't want to go over 5,500 bucks for this bike, but these bikes retail at around, I think, $12,000 to $13,000. So half of the value of that really isn't that bad for this bike, I believe, but they are selling on the used market for around $8,000 to $9,000. Another good thing about having bikes local like this, other than me physically going to the lot, is that I can actually go pick the bike up myself when I win it. So typically I would pay shipping costs. Like for the Lowrider S, I paid like $800 to have it shipped from Ohio to Alabama. But being that this actual auction lot is not too far away from me, yeah, I could spend $200 to have them physically bring it to me, but that would take 1 to 3 days. More likely it'll take probably two days, but I would rather just get a U-Haul, spend probably 80 bucks, $15 for the trailer, 20 bucks for the truck, and of course gas and mileage, but also having the experience of going to the Copart lot and getting it myself when they bring it out. So I would normally do this with my own truck. I have a Ford Ranger, but it recently threw a rod, so I had to put an engine in it. And yeah, I don't want to wait and have storage fees racking up because I didn't go pick up the bike on time. So U-Haul is where I'm going to do this, and I'm still saving money. Let's go ahead and jump over to the live auction and see if we can bring this bike home. Oh dear. All right, Sportster time. Come on, baby. Don't fight me, please. Don't fight me. 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 Don't fight me on the, please. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Come on, Lord. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 2 for 2. 2 for freaking 2. I'm happy. God, thank you. I can get off of this thing now. We got the Sportster, baby. Yes. Yes. I'm not going home without something today. Okay, the Sportster that I was watching, it is next up on the list. We're gonna see what this bike goes for. Currently is at $3,350. Let's see what it goes for. It has a clean title, and I'm just curious, is it gonna go more than the one that I paid for, which was $3,700? And it is still on reserve, which means that even if you get the highest bid, they still don't have to release it. So $3,700 for my salvage title Sportster, $3,500 for this one that's still on reserve. So the seller might not release it. Let's see. This one has minor dents and scratches. It pretty much looks immaculate. This does make me feel a little bit better because now it's at $3,700 and I paid the same amount at this point. Okay, what are we gonna stop at? All right, I feel a lot better. Even though mine still needs work at $3,700. I would like to see this thing go for at least like, I would say like $4,500 or something, but I don't think it's gonna get that high. It might, because again, the reserve hasn't been met yet. Where are we gonna end up at? What are we gonna end up at? This is so exciting. This is a hot lot. It is. This is exciting. Come on. 4150 Costa Rica. Costa Rica, you got to pay for shipping, man. You got to pay for shipping and export fees and everything. Michigan, they got this in the bag for real. Oh, and it's in Michigan, so they don't have to pay as much. The person that's bidding in this, they don't have to pay as much for shipping because it is also in Michigan. It might be in their backyard as well, so they have the advantage right now. Unfortunately, when you're bidding from even across state lines, that shipping, you have to factor that cost into what you're going to pay for it. So even if the people from Costa Rica win it, I mean, that's great, but you're going to have to pay a lot in shipping. So I guess Michigan decided, is that it? You're done? Oh, wow. Okay. $43.50. The people in Michigan didn't think it was worth that much to them. So that clean titled bike went for $650 more than my wrecked $3,700 Sportster. But keep in mind, at $4,300, I still would have had to pay $850 in shipping just to get that bike to me. So that's $5,100 before fees. Okay, so I was looking at around like $6,000, I think, just to get that bike home. Now that the auctions are over, the Sportster $3,700. By the time I'm done paying fees, it'll come out to around $4,900. The cool part about it is I don't have to go that far to get it. So I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for the rest of the stuff that comes with the Sportster. And of course, I will see you in the very near next one. Peace.